Hello everyone, let us discuss the current affairs for 29th of March 2020. So the coronavirus disease is spreading fast in India now. In the last 24 hours, India has seen 185 new cases and 2 deaths. So that is why the Union Health Ministry is now focusing on the high disease burden hotspots. So high disease burden hotspots are those areas from where most number of cases are coming. And working with the state governments, there will be intensified efforts to strengthen the community surveillance and to strengthen contact tracking and containment strategy. So there will be works on all these three fronts, and dedicated hospitals are already being set to treat the people who are infected with this particular case. And along with these 185 new cases, the total number of cases in India has now crossed 900. So because of the severity of the situation, the Union Health Ministry has now decided to focus on high disease burden hotspots. Also, the Prime Minister has set up a new fund called the Prime Minister Cares Fund, and CARE stands for Citizen Assistance and Relief in Emergency Situations. So this particular fund is identical to the Prime Minister's National Relief Fund, which is already working. But this particular fund will be chaired by the Prime Minister of India, and it will have Defense Minister, Home Minister and Finance Minister as its members. So this dedicated fund has been set up on popular demand so that all the common people through their UPI apps, through their debit, credit cards and internet banking can donate to this particular fund, and that fund can then be used to intensify the efforts against the coronavirus disease to 2019. Also, corporate social responsibility has been made eligible for this particular fund. Now, what is corporate social responsibility? So, under the Companies Act Amendment Act 2013, a provision was made under which every company which had a turnover of more than 100 crore rupees had to donate 2% of its average net profits for the last 3 years to charitable activities, and this is mandated by law, and this is what is known as corporate social responsibility. It simply means that corporates have a social responsibility to fulfill, for which they need to spend 2% of their net profits from the past 3 years average. So under this corporate social responsibility, there is a particular list of activities that the corporates can undertake which will be considered as corporate social responsibility, and they then will not be taxable. They will be exempted from taxes as well. So there are certain activities under CSR. For example, the construction of new toilets under the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Similarly, the construction of any welfare measure for poor and downtrodden are also covered under corporate social responsibility. So now the government has decided that any donation by the corporates to the PM Cares Fund shall also be covered under the corporate social responsibility. This has particularly been done to encourage the corporates to donate in the PM Cares Fund. And in pursuance to that, Mr. Ratan Tata has already committed 500 crore rupees on the very day when this fund was announced. Other than that, the Tata Sons, his parent company, has also announced 1000 crore rupees to manufacture ventilators, which is in dire need in this particular period of time. The virus infections around the globe has topped 6 lakh people. So 6 lakh people have now been infected by this. And other than China, the three most deadly affected countries are Spain, Italy and Iran. So Spain has seen more than 5,700 deaths till now, and Italy has also seen identical deaths, and in Iran also the death toll has crossed 2,500, taking the entire death toll in the world to close to 16,000. The US has announced $2 trillion revival plan for the economy, but they have refused to enforce any deadly or any strict lockdown measures in the country, for which it is being criticized around the world. But India has enforced a 21-day lockdown and has also announced a 1.7 lakh crore worth economic package to boost up the economy. In the previous video, we also discussed how the Reserve Bank of India has announced plans which will unleash around 3.5 lakh crore worth of liquidity into the market by reduction in the cash reserve ratio, by reduction in the policy repo rate, and various other measures. Also, because of the severe lockdown that has been enforced in the country, there is a massive rise in the TV viewership, and there is also a rise in the demand for internet traffic throughout India. So, as per the BARC Nielsen India survey, the Indians have seen massive increase of over 72 billion viewing minutes in the last 1 week because of the current lockdown. Also, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's March 24 address to the nation on complete lockdown has become the most viewed event, with the number of viewers surpassing the IPL finals, in which 133 million people were there. So the TV viewership has seen a steady increase. Also, the net traffic or the internet traffic has seen a rise of 30% post lockdown. In the city of Bengaluru, 100% spike in net traffic has been noticed. So this report has been issued by the Cellular Operators Association of India. And this Cellular Operators Association of India comes under the jurisdiction of the Department of Telecom, Ministry of Telecom. So, for additional allocation of spectrum, the internet service providers have been asked to apply to the Department of Telecom. Because of the increased internet traffic, various choke points have been identified. Choke points are those points where the internet demand far exceeds the internet availability, and many a time the networks are close to crashing. Therefore, the Cellular Operators Association of India has advised the electronic content providers, the over the top platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Z5, etc., and other television channels to reduce the density of their content. For example, YouTube and various other over the top video streaming platforms have been asked to reduce their video quality to not more than 480p, so that the internet usage and internet consumption can be contained. Also, because of the severe lockdown, the center is planning classes in distance mode. So the next session that is going to begin in schools, that is the 2020-2021 session, is to be conducted in distance mode for the initial few weeks, because there is uncertainty over how long the shutdown will last. So the center is planning for dedicated TV and radio channels in English as well as Hindi. The Ministry of Human Resource Development, which has the National Institute of Open Schooling under its ambit, so National Institution of Open Schooling along with the NCERT will broadcast their syllabus and will make their content available for use by schools on these particular radio and TV channels. However, this plan is only for the CBSE syllabus. For those state boards which do not follow the CBSE curriculum, the bigger challenge would be language. And to solve this particular problem, a Diksha mobile app has been envisaged to states. So it will be a platform to provide content in local languages, because as of now, this particular plan of the Ministry of Human Resource Development is only in English and Hindi languages. So if the state boards want that same content in their vernacular languages, then Diksha mobile app can come to their aid. Manipur MLA Mr. Shyam Kumar has been disqualified by the Speaker of the Manipur Assembly. So let us see the background of this particular incident. So in the year 2017, the Congress had secured the most number of seats in Manipur Assembly elections. However, the BJP allied with the National People's Party to form a government in Manipur. At that time, Mr. Shyam Kumar, who had won on a Congress ticket, he joined the BJP after winning that particular seat, and he was made the Minister for Forest and Environment in the government which was led by BJP MLA Mr. N. Biren Singh. So he was sworn in as a member of the assembly, and he joined BJP after winning an election on a Congress ticket. That is why it made him eligible to be disqualified on the grounds of defection. So in pursuance to that, now the speaker has disqualified Mr. Shyam Kumar. So let us see what disqualification on the basis of defection is. Disqualification simply means that any elected member, whether of a legislative assembly or of a parliament house, can be disqualified on the ground of defection on two bases. The first basis is if that particular person is elected on one particular party ticket, but after winning the election, he joins the other party, which happened in this particular case. The second ground can be if that particular legislator defies the party whip. Party whip is the direction that any party issues to vote or not to vote in a particular fashion on a particular bill or motion in the House. So if any elected member defies the whip or order of his or her party, then that person is eligible for disqualification on the grounds of defection. So in this particular case, Mr. Sham Kumar was elected on a Congress party ticket, but later he joined the BJP and became a minister, thereby making him eligible for disqualification under the 10th schedule of the Constitution of India, which was added by the 52nd Constitutional Amendment Act. And this particular decision can be taken only by the presiding officer of the House. So presiding officer of the House is the determining authority in taking this particular decision. Let us see some MCQs based on this. By which constitutional amendment was the anti-defection law added to the Indian Constitution? So the answer is 52nd Amendment. Under which ministry does the National Institution of Open Learning operate, or the National Institution of Open Schooling operate? So the answer is the Ministry of Human Resource Development. So thank you everyone. This has been the news analysis for 29th of March 2020.